morning. Hi, I'm Kristin Omdahl and welcome back to Yarn on the Beach. This is episode 104 and we are here live in Southwest Florida. The sun is just coming up over the trees and the buildings to the east, and this is the Gulf of Mexico behind me. It is a you're crafting on. If you are watching the recorded broadcast later in the day or anytime, please also feel welcome to leave a comment and tell me what you're crafting on. I try to make a point to reply to all of the comments, even in the recorded version. Hi everybody, thanks for joining. Before we get started today, I'll wait for a few more people to join live and just soak in this view a little bit. How pretty is this morning? Oh, it's Dolly the Wonder Wagon's dragging a shadow across the sand. Let's move her out of the way so you can see more of the, now is she on me? Yeah. There. I want you to be able to see the seashells and how they sparkle in the sunshine. If I ever figure out the right kind of tripod contraption or find someone to help me, I would love to do a video of beach combing. Wouldn't it be fun if we could go for a walk on the beach together, or go beach combing for seashells? I don't know how to do that on a tripod though, so I need some sort of mechanism that moves around. I follow Will Smith on Instagram, and one day he had this tripod mechanism which was like a fishing belt. You know, the belt that you would put a fishing pole in? And there was a selfie stick sticking out of it so that the camera would follow him and his hands would still be free. So if I could figure out what that is, or figure out how to Google that kind of a tripod thing, I would like to see what options are out there. You know, part of the challenge of finding things that are new to you is knowing what to ask Google for, or knowing what to search for, right? There have been so many times in my life when I've wanted something and knew it existed but didn't know what to call it, and that ends up being the challenge or the burden to figure out first before you can find the thing you're looking for. Someone mentioned my top. I've got such a fun thing to show you guys this morning. This is one of the Amazon tops that I bought to wear with my Redbubble leggings. This is one of my prints in my Redbubble shop in the leggings, and you can purchase them or all sorts of different types of my hand-drawn artwork on leggings. And I found some tank tops in Amazon, and through my Amazon shop, amazon.com/shop/Kristin Omdahl, something like that. All the links are in the video description. You can find these tank tops for about $10, $12 or so. And I love them because they look so cute over the leggings. They're long enough to cover your bum, which I like with leggings. And this one happens to be a little on the large side. I bought it when I was heavier. I bought an extra large, and even then I thought it was, you know, I was probably between a medium and a large then. So here's what it looks like. Very swingy. Sarah, you've bought them already. That's great. Thank you. So here's the top by itself. And you can see it's a little loose here, but that's an extra large, and I'm probably a large or a medium now, which is fine, because here's what I want to show you. Even when something doesn't fit you perfectly, there's all sorts of ways to style it. So I've got one of those rubber bands, like I put at the ends of my ponytails. Oh, Edna, that's wonderful. Enjoy it. And what I want to show you is how you can make this top. Well, you've seen me do this before. I'll take the edge, not the center, but somewhere between the side and the center. I'll take a corner and tie it up like that. So you're not showing your privates, you're not showing your booty, but you're showing a little leg, and I think that that's kind of interesting. But here's what I want to show you with the rubber band. Oh, come back over here. You could go to the underside of your shirt, like here, grabbing below the bust, and pinch it from the inside, pull it around, and grab that chunk with your rubber band and tie it like you would tie a ponytail and turn it back around. How cute is that? And so now it's now fitted below my bust, so it looks a little more fitted and flattering in the front, and it's still loose and flowy in the back. I'm missing comments, so if you can either repeat them when I'm sitting back down or save them for me in the recorded version, I will be happy to answer them. I'm going to miss a couple though while I'm doing this, so please forgive me for that. I'm going to show you how to do that from the side as well. So again, not the side and not the center, but somewhere in the middle. You can also go up to the underside of the shirt, pinch a spot, make your little ponytail and come back down. You know what? I think that one's too high. I think that one might be better at the natural waist, so give me a second. I think the center one looks good right under the bust, like an empire waist, and I think the side one is going to look better at the natural waist, almost like a wrap dress. That might, no, is that too low? Might be just a smidge too low. I think I liked it there better. Honestly, I think you could do it on both sides too, but I do like that look. I think my favorite for this particular top is in the center under the bust line, like at an empire waist. Okay, so I'm going to grab here, pull around. Honestly, you could do this to anything. It doesn't have to be one of these tank tops. Oh, I just think that looks like it was intentionally done, like it's part of the shirt. It doesn't even look like a hack, does it? It actually looks like that's what the shirt is supposed to do. And now look at that over leggings. Seriously, I look like I have a whole finished outfit on, even though I'm just wearing a tank top and leggings. I love that. I feel like I'm in pajamas, but I definitely feel like I look more put together than pajamas. And I think that's in the styling of a loose top. A loose top can look very matronly and very frumpy if you don't style it. If you had clips, you could definitely female MacGyver. That is one of my favorite compliments of my lifetime, Beatrice. That's awesome. I love thinking like MacGyver. It is really soft. I'm pretty sure it's synthetic, but I have to tell you, you don't have to iron it. This is wash and dry, and it looks like this. It's a little wrinkly. I probably left it in the dryer too long, but it's not exactly perfect. But if you hung it to dry, it would be even better. Oh, thank you, Grace. Let's do a camera turnaround so you can see some of the mangroves here. And you'll see that they have a little bit of green and definitely a little bit of brown. And that's because of the, it has to do with the hydration of the leaves. And beyond that, it's actually the root system that I was more inspired by. Beatrice, you like being called that too. Yeah, that's awesome. I think it's an excellent compliment. Because I think life's about figuring out how to solve problems. It's not about, certainly not about whining about problems. It's certainly not about expecting things to be perfect. It's about how you handle problems and how you find solutions. And so any compliment based on that is a good compliment in my book. So let's turn the camera around so you can see everybody and everything today. This is the beach to the south, and we've got a few walkers this morning. Here's the beach to the east with the big fireball coming up in the sky and some of the mangroves. Actually, other types of vegetation in there too. And then here's the beach to the north. Quite a few more walkers down there. And there's our swimmers that we see pretty regularly. And back to the big, beautiful beach. Beatrice, I'm with you there. I am a problem solver as well. Cindy's working on socks. Good morning from India. You're welcome, Raina. This morning I'm drinking organic green tea with fresh lemon juice, with a lot of fresh lemon juice to wake me up. I love things that are sour. I find them to be so invigorating. And I even remembered yarn, knitting needles, and scissors this morning. So, as long as we have time, I will be able to show you how to make one of the little motifs that's part of my tutorial coming up. If anybody has any questions, I'll make sure to look at the camera for a couple of minutes here. Scenery is lovely here. I agree. Oh, graph cans, those are fun. Good morning. Oh, Bertha loves the video of the dolphin and the fish. I've been sharing that with everybody I know, and so far I've yet to find anybody that says, oh yeah, I see that all the time. I feel like that was just one of those really special moments that you don't see every day. I'd love to see it again, but for those of you who haven't seen the video, if you scroll down on my page there, not too far back, there's a video of a dolphin and a Jack Crevalle, which is a fish about this long, facing off at the shoreline, and it's because the dolphin is wanting to eat the Jack Crevalle for breakfast, and the two of them are so intelligent, and they have this face-off. It was, I don't know, I'm speechless about it. It was so much energy and so much power and strength in such shallow water, and it was just such a feast for the eyes to be able to watch that. Oh, Elizabeth, no, I haven't had any progress on the retreat yet. I shared a silly photo the other day when I went for a walk down there of a beautiful house that I thought was a beautiful goal, dream house for a retreat, but I have not had time to head out and do my research where I'm going to look for hotels and small little, I would like to find a small private hotel on the beach that has, you know, maybe, I don't know what I'm gonna, I've got a vision, we'll see if it, no, I haven't worked in planned pooling yet. Nope, I have not done that. And the reason being, not that I don't like what I've seen in other people doing planned pooling, but there's something so magical and fun for me in watching how an unplanned pooling takes place. I love watching what the color decides to do, and there's something that I find entertaining about it. Should it ever be something that I don't enjoy, I would probably be interested in learning planned pooling, but there's something about just watching something evolve on its own that I'm finding it interesting still. Oh, we've got a little birdie. Hi, baby. Curious for a second. Planned pooling is where you organize your stitches and you manipulate your stitches so that you can create shapes within a moving color project. I think that's the best that I can describe it. You can Google it and find more information on it. I'm not sure, no, I have, yeah, I find it's more organic to watch the colors evolve on their own.
Hi. Show them your blanket too.
Oh, I have. Isn't that gorgeous?
I love it.
It's at Costco for $19 right now. If you like it, I would go get it before they sell out.
Is it towel?
Yeah.
But it's round.
Yeah, but it's a towel.
Oh.
Feel it. It's a towel.
Yeah, it's a towel.
Yeah. It's perfect.
I'm going to go and get that.
And you shake it out, and it, unlike my wool blanket that I use in the winter, the sand shakes right out of this.
Yeah, you can put it in the wash.
Put it in the, yeah, the fringe is all twisted, so it's not going to get damaged in the washing machine. But for that price, you know they're going to sell out.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had blue prints, all different kinds of prints too, but this is the prettiest.
Nice. We have to go to Costco.
Yeah. See you later. Bye. Yep, those are our Yarn on the Beach friends. I love it when they stop by. Oh, Raina, you found one too. Cool. Yeah, I'm sure this isn't, you know, not only is this probably not the only mandala blanket on the market, but it's also not the only place that this company sells their mandala beach blankets either. So if you found it on Groupon, it could either be the same brand or just a different brand, just a competitor. But it's certainly something that's popular right now and so beautiful. I love mine. Sarah, the walk was amazing. I got to catch up with a friend, got to see a house that inspired me to have goals for the retreat. Oh yeah, Walmart carries a type of a similar style to this too, that's right. I don't know how much that one is, I just know the one at Costco. Yeah, Laura Bryant does have a book that teaches you about plan pooling. I have that book actually. I received it at a show one time. It was part of the swag bag of something. What am I working on today? Good question. I don't have the shawl to show you, but I can show you in the book because I have it set up in my studio because I started doing the videos for the tutorial yesterday. I'm going to do a 4-part tutorial on the Marissa shawl from Motif Magic. So this shawl here. And so the first video will be how to understand the construction of a pattern, how to read the instructions, what the different stitches mean, and then the second video will be showing you how to make this little cutie, which is the motif that makes up the edge of the shawl. So you start by making the motif separately, and then so the second video will be actually making these, and you'll learn how to do knit front and back stitch, the knit stitch, and you'll also learn how to do a picot bind off, which is how you add a 3-stitch picot in your bind off, which is a great technique to learn for all sorts of projects, not just for this. And then in the next video, I'll show you how to pick up and knit along the tops of these to create a line of stitches and an edging. So as we will pick up a knit here, cast on over the center, pick up a knit here, and do that across all of these. Then we'll have all of them on one row of stitches, and then we'll work top up. You can see it is the shawl here, and then we'll work top up in lace as we decrease to create this beautiful shawl. The beauty of the shawls, of a shawl project, is that you don't have to use the same size yarn that is used in the project. You can adjust the size of it, make it bigger or smaller, use more rows or less by using a thicker or thinner yarn. Because there is no shaping and it doesn't have to actually fit your body, it really is a fun way to explore using different yarns as well. So to embody that, I'm using a different weight yarn also. And this is, so the shawl in the book, you can see how fine that is in the photo. That's Be-So fine yarn, which is fingering weight bamboo. And I pulled a ball of Be-So Sporty sport weight bamboo to create the step outs for the tutorial. And this is also not blocked yet. You can see that it will really stretch out quite a bit once it's blocked. Which brings me to my next step, which will be the final video where I will show you how to block the shawl as well. So there's going to be a lot of information to learn, and you'll also get the glossary videos, which will show you how to do every stitch in the project, just like we did for the first tutorial from the book. Let's see, I will show you. I did a 4-part video tutorial for the Elena shawl. If you haven't seen that, you can find that on my YouTube channel. There's a whole playlist for the Elena shawl, and it has a 4-part video series including how to read the pattern and the charts, how to make the motifs, how to do the actual increased shawl pattern, and then how to block it as well. Teresa's leaving. Bye, Teresa. Have a great day. Ava's making that one now. Great. Grace wants to know what's the difference between bamboo yarn and cotton bamboo. I'm not sure what you mean by what the difference is. It would be like anything being 100% and anything being blended. You get some of the properties of both fibers versus just the one. I would say that bamboo has a lot more drape on its own, and bamboo blended with organic cotton, if you're referring to Be-So Lush and Be-So Bold, they're going to have a little more structure. So you'll have the ability to do a little more structured stitch work with that than in the bamboo. They both do lace beautifully, but you definitely have a little more body to it. A GoPro would work. Okay, thanks, Ruthie. Hi, Cassandra. So, what else am I going to say? Yeah, I also, as a beginner, you know, sometimes bamboo yarn can be very slinky on the needles. The cotton has a little more texture as far as knitting and crochet goes too. So it just has more texture and more grip. So it sticks on your needles and hooks a little bit better, which is neither a plus nor a minus. It's just the nature of the texture of the fiber. And then I also think that it creates just a different type of a fabric, and it's a little more matte. So bamboo 100% is going to have that sheen and shine and drapiness of a silk. When you add cotton to it, it has more of a matte finish, which makes it maybe even a little more casual, but definitely has more of a matte versus a shiny look. I hope that helps. If you have other questions about it specifically, please let me know and I'd be happy to answer them. And that goes for live or recording. Question answered. Okay, great, Grace. Right, well, we can start on one of these motifs. I don't know if I'll finish it, but I can certainly get started. And I'm using my center pull ball. Oh, Sarah, no, I have not decided. I am so conflicted between Lagoon, Cobalt, and Ultraviolet for Be So Tender yarn. Part of me thinks that they all would look really pretty with a pastel color with them, like Fog, which is the light silver, or Blush, which is the really pale pink, and then Seafoam, which is the really pale, like seafoam green. And I think any one of those jewel tones would look pretty with any one of those lighter colors. I think they all three look pretty together. I don't know if you saw the two patterns that I designed for Knit Crate last month. Each one used one ball of each of those three colors. Those were gorgeous too. So the three colors together look absolutely fabulous. I just have to decide if I want to do something solid, if I want to do something with all three colors, or if I want to add a pastel to one of them. My idea though is to wear it whatever I make with white, and I'm kind of toying with Cobalt or Lagoon to wear with like white jeans or white shorts and a white tank top underneath, something like that. No, I haven't done a Grafghan before, but I'm definitely interested in it, and I think would be a really interesting way to incorporate my artwork with knitting and crochet. Grace says Lagoon. A lot of people chose Lagoon yesterday. All right, so we're gonna get started on this. We won't be able to finish it, but we can get a little bit going here. Cannot see the camera much at all, so I'm not sure how much of this will show up. But I started with a slip knot for my first stitch, and I'm doing a long tail cast on with my tail and my working yarn. And I'm gonna start with 7 stitches, counting the slip knot as my first stitch. This is exactly what I'm going to be doing later today when I do the tutorial videos. Okay, and the first row is to knit into the front and back of every stitch, which means we're going to move from 7 stitches to 14. So I'll start with the first stitch here and knit. Oh, make sure you get the tail out of the way. We're going to knit into the front. Ah. Okay, insert your needle into the front and knit a stitch, but before lifting that stitch off the left needle, we're going to knit into the back as well. Now that we have 2 stitches from the one, now we can slide it off our needle. So we'll knit into the front and back of the next stitch, making sure we make both stitches before we slide the stitch off the left needle. So we're going to transform each of these 7 stitches on the cast on to 2 stitches for row 1, so that we're increasing from 7 stitches to 14 in row 1. When I do that, I usually pull the stitch right back out. If you lose one of them, it's really difficult to figure out in the middle of it, so I usually just back the whole thing out and start over. So I'm glad that showed up. Okay, let's see. Hopefully that was in camera. And so now we have 14 stitches on our needle. I'm going to turn my work, and now the next row, it's going to sound a little crazy, but it'll work itself out, I promise. We're going to do the same thing again. So we're going to knit into the front and back of each of these 14 stitches to create 28 stitches at the end of row 2. So knit into the front and back. I have no idea if I'm on camera. Shoot, hopefully. Think so. And obviously this will be slowed down for the actual tutorial. Just giving you the gist of it this morning. Okay, so now we have 28 stitches on our needle. Okay, and now the hard part's over. Now for the rest of the motif, we're just going to be knitting even. So for the next 10 rows, we're just going to work in garter stitch, which is to work each row even. So I'm going to back up from the camera now so that I can try to look at some comments and answer some questions if anybody has them. And if we have time, oh, we probably won't have time. No, there's no way we'll have time for me to do the 3-needle bind off. But the video tutorials should be out in the next day or so, so you'll be able to see all of it then. 22 inches of snow, oh my goodness. Hi Alexandra, where are you from? I'm working on motifs for a new video tutorial for one of the shawls in my new book, Motif Magic. It's this one here, which is called the Marissa shawl. That sure is a lot of snow. And a lot of snow late in the year too, my goodness. I would imagine you're getting tired of winter at this point, even if you love winter. Wow. I used to live in Michigan. I don't miss the snow. My body is just so sensitive to being cold that I get painfully cold, and I just don't think that I'm suited for cold weather. Everybody's different. Some people prefer being cold to hot, and I totally respect and understand that. But I am somebody that would prefer to be hot than cold. Started a men's shawl last night. That's cool. I bet you guys are sick of winter. I totally understand that. Even if you love cold weather, there comes a point when you're ready for it to end. 34 degrees, brr. Hopefully you're in warm and in the house and warm. Cebu says it's hot in India. How hot is it where you are so far? Smells like spring in New Jersey. That's a nice experience. I love the balmy scent of spring when you're long overdue for it. That's exciting. I walked past some gardenia bushes yesterday in bloom. I think my eyes rolled back in my head. It smelled so good. Lily grew up in hot weather but lives in the cold now. So you prefer the cold. I totally understand that. Yeah, staying indoors is a good way to stay warm for sure. Oh, Lily, no, she doesn't. Well, you know what? Diane, the hot can kill you too, unfortunately. It depends on the circumstances, but there are people that die from the heat as well. Differently than the way people die from cold, but you can actually no, you can die from exposure in the heat too, especially when we have storms and power outages that are extended. There are people that die in their homes without air conditioning because it gets that hot down here. Not to mention you can get caught outside or stranded without water and suffer heat stroke and dehydration, and also, but it's different but the same, and it's, you know, you have a less chance of survival in extreme cold, I will say that, but at an extended period they're both equally as dangerous. Oh, you grew up in the Caribbean, Lily. That's so nice. I love the Caribbean. Okay, so had time to do 2 rows, and you can see that it's already starting to even itself out. When you do aggressive increasing, it always looks really ruffly and weird at first, but the more you work even afterwards, it works itself out. Just like when you're doing a top-down, like the Sweet Clara top. It's ruffly at first, but as you work your even rows, it works itself out as well. Or pie shawl construction, same sort of thing. All right, we're almost out of time here, so let's take this last minute to look out on the water and soak in this magnificent view, set our intentions for the day, and listen to a few more waves crashing the shore. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to join me for Yarn on the Beach. If you like my podcast, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe to my channel for more videos, and click the bell so you'll be notified every time I go live. Make sure you check out the links in the video description where you can find all sorts of ways to follow me in other social media. Check out my website for educational and inspirational videos and free patterns and all of my products, yarns, and books. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.